In the United States, the banking system is about to go through the biggest change in modern times. Digital assets have been talked about in different ways for years. It's a battle between Republicans and Democrats, between new ideas and rules, and between freedom and control. But that wall just broke down. A closed-door meeting of Congress has been made public. There was also something unexpected that happened in that meeting. President Biden's office and former President Trump's advisors agreed on very few things. They all came to the same conclusion: XRP is not only the key to keeping the US dollar's position as the world's most important currency, it may also already be a part of America's future digital currency. First, let's talk about what came out of that meeting. Insiders say that the meeting included top members of the House Financial Services Committee, Federal Reserve officials, and important Ripple Labs reps. The supposedly named Cross-Border Dollar Liquidity Infrastructure document lays out a plan to use a neutral, energy-efficient bridge asset to make it easier for foreign transactions to settle in real time. If you look closely, that statement fits one thing very well: XRP and the record for XRP. Most of the time, these two political groups are at odds with each other over every financial problem. But they both agreed that the U.S. can't afford to let other countries, especially the BRICS alliance, get ahead in cross-border settlement technology. For the first time, both Democrats and Republicans agree on a crypto asset. It's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, but XRP. Music. We need to look back at something that Congress has been talking about in secret for more than a year to understand why this is important. Members of both parties dropped the name of Ripple's technology in a number of public hearings. This happened especially when they talked about fast settlement and meeting the ISO 20022 standard. These connections may have seemed unimportant at the time, but they were really just small signs that something much bigger was coming. For its upcoming digital dollar system, which is often called FedNow Plus, the Federal Reserve has already been testing how well it works with private blockchain technology. The official line is that it's only used in the United States, but the leak shows that a connection was tried between the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's digital dollar pilot and Ripple's on-demand liquidity corridor. This means that the tools needed to connect XRP to the U.S. banking system will not be available soon. It's already here. One file even had a picture of how a US CBDC node and a Ripple trading hub would settle, with XRP acting as the middleman asset. That's not guesswork, that's the design of technology. In the same study, it was said that public-private interoperability keeps the dollar's liquidity stable on the world stage. XRP is being set up to keep foreign central bank digital currencies from taking the place of the dollar. Even though the Biden government is cautious about crypto, they know that the United States needs to be in charge of the global payment rails. Trump supporters, on the other hand, see XRP acceptance as a way to make the U.S. more powerful in trade deals without printing more money. Two very different political goals, but one tool they both need. Now think about what this means. It doesn't matter what party you're in when both sides agree on something this big. It's about staying alive. Inflation, debt, and attempts by countries to get around SWIFT are all putting more and more pressure on the U.S. economy. As was talked about in that meeting, the answer is a mixed system with a digital dollar backed by the speed and liquidity of XRP. The idea is easy, but it really changes the game. Ripple's network doesn't replace the dollar, it makes it stronger. All foreign deals made through this system would still be settled in US dollars, but XRP would be used as a stepping stone. It keeps the dollar as the most important currency while making payments fast and almost free. Take a look at this. The way the economy works now is as slow as a fax machine. A lot of people can use XRP right away. The Fed knows this. Congress is aware of this. This is now known even by the White House. The U.S. doesn't have years to figure out how to respond. Russia, China, and the other BRICS countries are already using blockchain-based payment systems, which could cut the U.S. off from the rest of the world. The deal that is being made by both parties is not about liking crypto. It's about turning it into a tool for national security. People no longer see XRP as a speculative token, but as a key piece of infrastructure. Several senators stressed in the leaked discussion notes that XRP's current global liquidity corridors give the U.S. a ready-made way to become the world leader in digital settlement. One official even called Ripple's method SWIFT 2.0 for the digital world. That wording is very important. It shows that Ripple and the U.S. government are moving toward the same goal, a single network for fast global payments where the dollar stays the base currency. But XRP is what makes it work. And once the U.S. makes XRP a part of legal systems, every other country will do the same. In this case, the dollar has a lot of power. If the U.S. music, where does this leave the price? Take a look at the numbers. If XRP is to become the standard way to settle dollar-based deals, it would need to be able to handle trillions of dollars in cash. The leaked study said that only 5% of the Federal Reserve's cross-border operations might need at least $250 billion in XRP in circulation to keep instant global settlement going. Based on the current amount, that means that each XRP could theoretically be worth around $500. That's not just a crazy dream. It's just math. If everyone starts using XRP, like company treasuries and banks holding it as collateral, the price could go up a lot more. The Ripple ledger was made to handle a lot of activities at once, and it can do so while using almost no energy. That level of compliance and speed can't be matched by any other blockchain. Some people will say this sounds too convenient, but you should ask yourself why Ripple has kept building relationships with central banks and regulatory bodies even though the SEC is criticizing them. Since they already knew where this was going. This SEC case was never about what the law says. It had to do with time. Before accepting XRP, the U.S. government had to set rules for it. That's exactly what's going on right now. The way was clear after Ripple won some court cases last year. Now, the leak to Congress proves the plan. Integration happens because of rules. Integration leads to people adopting it. When people adopt, they are valued. And there is a huge amount of political meaning. If Biden and Trump agree on anything in 2025, that will make the news. But if everyone agrees on XRP, that will be history in the making. It seems to show that Ripple's tech is now more than just a money-saving tool. It is a national treasure. You can soon expect public comments that use neutral language like strategic payment resilience or modernizing digital infrastructure. But people who know the signs will figure out what is being said. The U.S. is quietly getting ready to connect its money system to blockchain, and XRP is the key to making this happen. People will likely study this event for decades to come as the moment when the old financial order gave way to the digital age. Not through chaos, but by working together across party lines. It's finally clear from the top, which is what everyone has been waiting for. Not only is XRP surviving regulation, it's turning into a link between the old and new dollars. That's exactly what every government, bank, and investor who is following this story knows. There won't be a world financial reset. It has already started. Don't forget what this really means when you hear about new bills, task forces, or pilot projects in the coming months. It's not all politics and press releases. There's a quiet, well-organized effort to use Ripple's technology to rebuild the U.S. financial system from the ground up. The financial world will change overnight when that system goes live and XRP is legally recognized as the settlement layer of the digital dollar. People who had XRP before the news came out won't just be early adopters either. They'll be among the new wealthy people. XRP worth $500 is no longer a dream. It is a place to go. And Congress just agreed to the plan. Nota bene. Do keep in mind that I am not a professional financial advisor. The information in these movies is only meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always tell my viewers to do their own study and talk to professionals. Thanks for listening. Do not forget to hit the follow button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, make sure the alerts are on so you know right away when I post something new. In the next movie, I can't wait to catch up with you. Be careful.